Hi, welcome to Losing Faith, Finding Spirit. We're talking about relationship red flags, things to look out for to kind of identify whether or not this relationship is toxic, abusive, or a narcissistic type relationship. So today's red flag is, do you question the relationship? Do you have doubts about this relationship? Is something inside of you telling you that this relationship is a little bit off? This person is a little bit off. Do you think about breaking up? Do you want to break up? This stems from your gut. Something inside of you, your intuition, your inner knowing is telling you that something's not right in this relationship. There's something off. You keep thinking about breaking up. Maybe you've tried to break up. You keep getting talked back into the relationship. You keep letting yourself be pulled back into the drama. It hurts and makes you feel uncomfortable, and you feel like you can't survive without this person. That is your insides telling you to take a time out, take a break, walk away. If you have doubts about this relationship and about this person, just follow that. Don't question yourself. Give yourself some time. Take a break from the relationship if you have to. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. It's okay to do that. It's okay to step back and reevaluate your relationship. And in fact, it's important to do that. If you are having doubts and if you want to break up with this person and you're like, I just need some time alone. I just need to figure some things out, and they don't let you, they try to pull you in. They try to argue you out of those thoughts. They question why you don't love them. They question anything about you and make you feel worse, or promise you the world and promise they'll change or do all this stuff. Take time away. Do it. Take your time. A healthy relationship will be like, wow, okay, I'm really sorry that you feel this way. I'm sorry that you're feeling, I really enjoy our time together, but if you need to take all the time you need, it's okay. If we're meant to be, we'll see each other again when you feel good, or they'll wait and they'll be like, yeah, that's fine. I have no plans of seeing anyone else. You are great, and take all the time you need. And they give you the time, or they think, wow, I didn't know you were feeling this way. Let's take some time. I need to think about some stuff too then. Let me take that time as well. It's healthy. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean your relationship is a horrible thing. Especially if you've come from complex trauma or childhood trauma, you might have codependency issues. And if you start to get feelings of that codependency, feelings of those, intense things, take that time for yourself. Take that time. The worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to move on, or you're going to move on. You're going to realize that the relationship isn't working. You're going to realize that something's wrong, and you're going to break up. And nobody likes breaking up. I get it. Nobody wants to be alone forever. But it's so much better to be alone and at peace than to keep being in these kinds of relationships where you're never going to find peace. It's just going to torment you. You're going to keep doubting. You're going to keep wanting to run. So I'm telling you, if you want to break up, break up. Just break up. Don't stay in a relationship because you're afraid. Because you're afraid of being alone. Because you're afraid that this person can't live without you. If there's fear in your relationship, that's a sign. That's your body telling you that this is not a healthy relationship. If there's doubt, don't stay because you think it's going to get better. If there's doubt that things are okay right now, if there's anything in your relationship that doesn't feel right and you want things to change, you want the other person to change, no, get out. People shouldn't change for other people. People should change for themselves, because if you change for you, it's a temporary fix. It's an act. They genuinely have to want to change inside, and people can't influence others. You can be inspired by other people's lives. You can, care enough about somebody to want to be a better person, but the actions have to follow. And it can't just be and that can't be a weapon used against you. I changed for you. I gave all this up for you. If you're hearing those kinds of messages from your partner, that's a sign to leave. If they're trying to use you as a guilt and as a weapon to keep you bound to them, get out. Run. If there's any doubts at all, any feelings, any kind of like ugh feeling that you're like, maybe I should break up. I really think that things are like weird. Something's not right. Follow that. Please save yourself years of torment and trauma and just abuse and end it. End it now. I wish I had. You're going to regret being in it. There were several times early on in the 3 years that we dated in college that I tried to break up. And either he would argue me out of it, we'd fight it out, and I'd feel like I'm the one that was the problem, not him. But then, and I'd feel that way. I'd feel like, you know, I'm not worthy of being loved. I'm not worthy of this relationship. And he'd be like, but I love you so much. I'm not going to let you go. He said that I don't know how many times. I'm not going to let you go. I'm not letting you break up. When we finally were going into divorce isn't an option for me. We're not getting a divorce. Sorry, that's not how it works. If one of us wants to break up, if one of us wants to get a divorce, we will get a divorce. You can't force me to stay. Why would you want that? Why would you want to stay, like force somebody to stay if they don't want to be in the relationship? That's not a healthy thing. That's not a happy thing. You can't be like satisfied with that, forcing somebody. Gross. That's what I dealt with. One time I wanted to break up and he went over the top and proposed without a ring and all this nonsense. And I fell for it. I thought, oh, it's just love bombing and breadcrumbing. And I fell into it again. And that's the cycles, the trauma bonding, you know things are bad, but you stay for when things are good. Because you feel like the good is really good, but really it's not. The good isn't really good. The good just feels really good because it's been really bad. The bad's really bad. Those two extremes are just holding you hostage in this relationship. It's not healthy. If you notice that, if you notice this up and down with your like with your relationship where, you know, you're fighting sometimes and you feel like, what am I doing in this relationship? But then it's like super amazing. Get out. Don't allow yourself to get addicted to that. Get out. Save yourself years of torment. Get out. It doesn't get better. It gets worse. It absolutely gets worse because eventually those highs disappear. Eventually the goods disappear. Eventually the romance, the stuff that you think like this is worth it, it fades. It disappears because once they have you, and whatever that means, whether that's like they got you pregnant or you have a kid together or you're married, whatever, you're living together, all your finances are tied up. Maybe you stopped working, maybe they stopped working. You're just like, completely dependent on each other. When it gets to that stage, it's really hard to end things and you feel trapped. And if you're at that stage and you're like, that's me, I'm here, I wish I had ended it years ago, you can still get a way out. You need to get your ways out. You need to figure it out. You need to get your support group. You need to start planning for your exit strategy. And you need to be very careful. Because if this person, and you said, this is everything, all the red flags are true, you need to be careful and do what feels safe and safest for you. And I know you might be stuck in fear. I'm telling you, it's okay. Your fears are valid. We all know this. Statistics say that, domestic violence is worse when somebody tries to leave the relationship. And your fears are valid. Take every precaution you need, set up a plan, get an escape plan so that you can be mentally and emotionally prepared and physically ready to leave. And don't let the other person know. You don't need to alert them that you're leaving. You can let them know afterwards. And you can have, when you file for divorce, they send somebody to find your spouse and deliver the papers. You don't have to even physically do anything. You don't have to physically let them know. They can find out all by themselves. Like, there's other things set up to find out that information. And I don't want you to feel like terrified. I want you to work through that fear, but listen to that fear. That fear is trying to keep you safe. That fear is telling you that you're not safe. That's important to know. If you don't feel safe in your relationship, you need to get out. You need to find a way out because you never know when that fear is going to come true. Worst case scenario. Hopefully it doesn't. It didn't for me. And other people, but it can, and it does. And who knows what that fine line is for your situation between it not being bad and it getting really, really bad. And if you know what I'm talking about, we know. If you have a doubt, if you feel something is off, if you want to break up, if you keep thinking about divorce, do it. Don't drag it out. Find your ways. Get your situation ready. End it. The thing you're going to regret is staying in that torment. When it's over and that person leaves and you are free, and it takes a while to get free, it takes a while to detangle all of that. Depending on how long you've been together, it can take a long time. And you might still have issues later on down the road. You might still have flashbacks. You might still have just unease. I know I do, even now. I see their name on my phone or in an email, and I still I still get a queasy feeling sometimes, but that queasy feeling isn't as strong as it used to be. It doesn't last as long. I can take a deep breath. I know what my boundaries are. I have some mantras that I tell myself to kind of reestablish my boundaries every time I feel like they're being pushed. And that helps me stabilize myself, and I can deal with the situation, the message, the whatever, with a clearer mind, on my terms. That's so important to have that, and to know that you don't have to respond to everything. Know what get a good lawyer that can get a court order if you have kids together. Go no contact if you don't. Don't contact them, block them, don't let them come into your life again, because they know everything to say to make you feel weak again. They know everything to do to make you fall back into those patterns and cycles. Don't contact them. Don't let them contact you. Just cut all the ties. And if you have to stay in contact because of your children and you're dealing with all of that, there are ways to go very low contact. And make sure that you get somebody who can write that up in your parenting plan so that you feel as safe as you can and that you do what you can. And I mean, literally get a lawyer, because right away before you start doing anything, just if you start doing it on your own with this person, thinking on good faith that they're on your same, it's gonna be a mess. It was for me, it was a mess. I gave away rights, I gave away things that I was entitled to, things that I should have gotten, just because I wanted it over. But, I'm disappointed about that, because I gave away power even through the divorce. The divorce was just a continuation of the abuse in the marriage. But I'm glad it's over, it's done, and I feel so free, I feel so at peace. And that peace is worth it. That peace is worth every torment. I'm fine being alone. I'd rather be alone than deal with all of that. That's where I'm at in my journey. And I hope that you find your peace within yourself, and that you find a way to heal and work through all of this and let go of these kinds of relationships. And I know sometimes it's hard. I know that there's a grieving process. Even knowing that's the right thing to do, even knowing that it's abusive, you can grieve. You will grieve. You will have those feelings, because you'll remember those good times. Unless you're like me and you finally saw it all clearly and they acted the fool up until the very bitter end. And then you just feel a little bit like, yeah, you're gross. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Please leave me alone. Go away. Thanks. But I hope the best for you. I hope you get out. If you feel the doubt, get out. Hope this finds you well. I hope that you find the way out of these relationships, and that you find some healing within yourself, and to heal those patterns in you that lead you into these kinds of relationships, so that you don't do them in the future. Blessings be. Thanks for listening. Bye.